OJ snip. I'm all alone. I just helped the lady change her tire on the side of the road. OJ snip. That's what I'm talking about right there. Got to try out my lights for once. Former cop car, still had the light bar, had everything functioning. Had to get rid of the blue lights and the forward-facing red lights and get some amber and white and such facing the back and front. And haven't really had a chance to use it. So, you don't drive around with your lights on, obviously, but I see a lady in the interstate in the fast lane. She's pulled over, and I could see it coming from half a mile away. So I was already in the fast lane. I'm like, man, I could tell something was, I didn't know if it was a flat tire or what, but I figured it probably was. So I stopped, turned the lights on. Rule number one: when you pull up behind someone, you're helping someone out, whether you're in your car or whatever, doesn't matter. If you're in the fast lane on the interstate, for example, you pull behind someone to help them, don't get right behind their car. You need to park many feet before that car, like maybe a car length behind them, full space. Cock your wheel all the way to the left, turn it all the way to the left, shut your car off, put it in park, whatever, or if your car's running, that's fine, whatever, put it in park. That way your wheels are facing in. If someone smashes into you from behind, you're facing the wheels to the left, you're going to go off into the grass area or the barrier or whatever over there, as opposed to straight into the car in front of you and smash you and the person possibly. Or if you had your wheels cocked to the right, you'd be flying out into traffic if you got hit from behind, causing a massive pileup. Now, if you're on the right side of the road and you stop to help somebody, same situation, stay behind them a good amount, car length or so, you cock your wheels to the right. That way, if you get hit from behind, your car goes off into the ditch and doesn't hit you and the person in front of you, meaning you standing out there in the person's car as well. Just a little tip I learned back in the day when I was volunteering for the sheriff's office. So I see this lady, and I just pull up, turn my rear facing lights on. I can see she has a flat tire. She has a spare tire already out. She got one of those little jacks, little twisty jacks, that comes with the car, little screw jacks. But she doesn't have the right handle to turn the knob on the end to make the jack raise up. She has a little small crowbar, which worked to take the lugs off, but I'm like, man, so I got my little bag in the back, a little small toolkit, basically, basic stuff in there, pliers, wrenches, screwdrivers, some typical stuff. So I do have some adjustable wrenches, like 3 of them actually in that bag. So I was like, oh, I can grab onto the end of that little twisty thing and do a half a turn, put it back on, half a turn, put it back on. So I'm starting to do it, and as soon as the car starts lifting up off that flat tire, the car wants to move forward a little bit. So I look at the jack, let me reposition the jack, it does it again. All right, I jump in the car, it was already jacked up a little bit. I'm like, I'm not gonna take it down again. So I just backed the car up a hair, put the emergency brake on, so those back tires were locked, and then put it in park, shut her car off, then it stayed, it was good. Finally got the thing up enough to get the tire off and put the new tire on. Of course, it's full of air, so I gotta jack the car up a little bit higher. Anyways, it's probably about 25 minutes. I was probably out there about a good 25 minutes messing with this thing. If I had the right tools, it would have been a lot quicker to crank that thing and be done with it, but whatever. She tried to pay me on the way out. Oh, let me, and she looked at the car. She's like, oh, you work for the police? I was like, no, I used to volunteer, actually. I was like, but this is my own car. I had to change the light colors out and stuff to not get in trouble, For an instance like this, I can stop and help somebody. So, anyways, got her taken care of. She was real happy. And, did my little good deed for the day. Haven't had a chance to really stop and help anybody. I typically do if I can, she'd already called somebody and she called them back. I was like, oh, someone's here to help. So whoever that was didn't have to come through freaking rush hour traffic. And I'll tell you what else was nice about having these lights, which I already knew. The rule, at least in Florida and most states, if you see any kind of vehicle, emergency vehicle, tow truck, anything on the side of the road with flashing lights like that, it's the law to get over one additional lane to get away from them. Or if you can't because there's so much traffic, you need to slow down like I forgot what it is, like almost half the speed limit or 40 mile an hour or something below the speed limit. And I saw a lot of people getting out of that lane. And some, of course, just slowing down because they couldn't get out of the lane. So it was nice to know, you know, had I not had this particular vehicle with those lights, and again, they're legal, they're not, I'm not talking blue lights, people still respect it, and oh, let me get out of the way. Which is why I kept the light bar and stuff on this car, you know. And it's got a little rear, you can probably see just above my head, those two little notches and the little bar. It's got a rear one out the back window. Again, it came with all this stuff, but the one that was back there was blue and red flashing when I first got the car. So I'm like, man, I can't have that. So I got a special custom light, which is actually red, amber, and white facing back. You can have red facing back. You cannot have red facing forward though, and you can't have any blue anywhere. So anyway, so the other part of the chat, you know, bottom line is, you know, sometimes people need help, stranger needs help. You know, like I said, got my war scars, dirt, filthy, dirty hands, and I always keep a towel in the back, and just kind of wipe the front part of my hands off. Not that it helped too much, if you can see that dirt, but whatever, it's all good, man. It's all good, helping people, man. It's what I like to do. So now we've got elections to talk about, right? Midterms. Talking with Frank and the boys at lunch, and he's like, you know how this has always gone for like the last God knows how many years, like the last 20 or more years. He goes, you get a president, let's say it's a Democrat. What happens is they're in for 2 years, they got a full Democratic House and Senate, they get all these laws passed, then the midterms come up, and then like the House or Senate or both switch to the opposite party, like Republicans. He goes, so here we are now, we got a Republican who's president, and we got, sure enough, 2 years later, midterms, and typically we'll see the Democrats should get at least the House because of the last 20 years plus history. But we've got an interesting phenomenon going on here, right? We've got the internet, we've got transfer of information, we've got lies being exposed, we've got these fake, you know, politicians, unfortunately mostly Democrats right now, if not all. I mean, I gotta be real here. If it was a Republican I could call out, I'd do it in a heartbeat. I don't care. But it's not. It's the Democrats, so we gotta talk about it. And they're, you know, oh, well, we can't say that. We'll just tell them what they want to hear. You know, but you are for taking like assault weapons away. I mean, right? Oh, absolutely. But you know, we can't tell the people that. Yeah. So you see again, McCaskill, Democrat, Gillum, Democrat. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and Bill Nelson against, and I'm talking Florida now. Our former governor, Rick Scott, same story. You know, what the hell's Bill Nelson done in his freaking career politician spot? Nothing. He's barely even showed up. Just collected his freaking paycheck and his payoffs from big corporations, and that's all he's done. So when I hear, oh, Barack, yeah, you need to vote Bill Nelson. You need, thanks, Barack. Appreciate it. We know for sure who we're not voting for. Appreciate that. Now, for me, my little voting station is not too far from the house. I called today. It's a church. I called. Hey, you don't do. There's like no early voting like today or anything. No, we open just some polling, you know, day tomorrow, whatever. All right, no problem. She said, but we open at 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Oh, so I could actually come here a little early before I go to work and get my job done, son. So I'm looking forward to chatting with Kevin's Corner. I like that dude. My buddy Sean got me in contact with him originally. He got his email address somewhere, emailed him, and the guy was like, yeah, have Joe, I know who, you know, I've seen his video, have him call me. So he gave me his phone number. Like I said, I called him. And so he's like, yeah, man, midterms, let's just hook up, you know, let's maybe try to do a live stream together. I said, yeah, that sounds good, man. I like that guy. I mean, he's down to earth. He's on snip point, you know, I mean, like us, you guys, he's there with us. And a bunch of y'all are like, oh, I've been following him for a few months, Joe. Thanks for letting me know, son. A day late and $1 short, but that's all good. So Sean, the guy that got me in contact with him, my buddy, he sends me a video. He's like, oh, hey, check this video from him out from a while back. It was actually posted about a month or more ago. He's talking about Kaepernick. He's going off on Kaepernick a little bit. And he's sitting and I think he's riding out in a Jeep. I think his car is a Jeep, look from the looks of it. Because he had like the whole thing was opened up. He's just in his driveway. I'm like, man, I do the same damn thing. I jump in my car, do a video. He's doing it too. So I'm telling you, we are like two peas in a pod. This guy, it's cool, man. Reminds me of like when I first met Pastor Dow. Like, oh, I love that guy. I still love him, of course. But that like instant, I know this guy, we're gonna connect, like for sure. And now we're friends for how many years now? Me and Pastor Dow. But he was doing a little beatboxing about a couple of things. Sean's like, Joe, he could do the little rap part, you could beatbox. I'm like, oh shoot, yeah, you're right. I got a feeling something's gonna go down. But I'm optimistic on us Republicans this time around, getting the House back, fully, get the House, get the Senate, because, technically we have the House, but, well, in a midterm, usually it switches parties. Well, under normal circumstances, I'd say yeah. And sit back like I did before Trump got elected, saying, oh yeah, Hillary's gonna win it, 95% chance. Nate's 538.com says, which is already reporting, yeah, the Democrats are up. I sent myself a screenshot from CNBC, just to maybe talk about it at a later date if possible, depending on how this goes. Oh, that both Democrats, Bill Nelson and Gillum are got a several point lead in the latest polls right now. And strangely enough, I couldn't find the link on CNBC's page that says, oh, who did you hire to do the poll? Let me go to the poll and see specifically what those results are and the people you actually polled, which I already knew the answer would be anyways. We polled 36% Democrats and 27% Republican. No wonder why they have a several point lead, you moron. So, it's not surprising to hear this garbage. I just want to see a blowout of such epic proportions that even the left, who didn't vote for the Republicans, of course, see and realize this is 2 times. My favorite news companies, the polling companies, have told me we had this in the bag, we were up several points, and we lost it again, damn it. Then they're gonna get mad. Like they say, you gotta get mad first before you go out and make change. You gotta get mad. You wanna go get mad? I'm gonna go vote this time. I never vote, I'm gonna go vote. I'm gonna do this such and such this time because I'm mad, right? You gotta get mad as hell, like that movie, The Network. Remember that? The guy, yeah, that had a little clip of the guy yelling, I don't want to tell you to write or fax your Congress member. First, you gotta get mad. You gotta say, my life has worth, god damn it. It was a typical thing going around the internet for a while. And he says, you gotta get mad. You gotta scream to the rooftops, I've had it, I won't take it anymore, And that's essentially what we're doing. We've had it and we're not gonna take it anymore. Which is why we're doing what we're doing right now. We're gonna go out and vote. We understand there's fake news and fake polls, and we're gonna show just how fake they are. So I'm saying, I talked to my boys today, I said, look, if by chance the Democrat, state of Florida somehow is stupid and votes Gillum, I said, you really think, look at the turnout this guy has, hardly anyone showing up. Again, you think that's really reflective of how the vote really went? Or they freaking rig it again in Broward County, where the lady caught people in her little volunteers area writing in votes, and she questioned, why are they writing them in? Oh, well, they're illegible, so they're just redoing them. Well, how could they redo them if they're illegible? How would you know? You know what I'm saying? How would you know? If you can't read them, how do you know what to put on there? Right? She was fired immediately. She filed a complaint with whoever and was fired immediately. So, could Broward County sway the whole freaking state with fake votes, dead voters on? I mean, hey, it's possible. And if we don't win based off of the turnout of people supporting that man, being almost none, to the other guys, massive sellouts of stadiums and thousands of people showing up, that's proof to me. That's the proof in the pudding that we still got rigged problems. Now Q, as you know, QAnon has said, don't worry about the rigged voting. We'll take care of that. You just go out and do your part and vote. And he said it again. He's been posting again recently. So I hope that we have what I would suspect, just looking at the real data we've seen, an absolute blowout from the Republicans, just killing it, murdering it, like never before, breaking records. That's what we should see. Take care.